up YouTube? Jake Hoffman here, and today we're going to go over a video about how to clean your glass bed for either your Ender printers or any printer. So here's my Creality Ender 3 Pro with the Creality glass bed, and it has an adhesion surface on it, and if you touch it with your finger you'll leave an oil residue behind, and that'll cause lots of things: lifting, delamination, etc. So sometimes, like here, I've been printing some TPU and I was having some adhesion issues, and it's because I haven't been cleaning my bed on a regular basis. So you can see this is just stick glue here, which helps it stick and it's easy to get off, especially if you use the you can see this all-purpose clear, which it says washable school glue. So this here is what we would say it would look like after, I think it's like 40 prints on this one now. And this on my Ender Pro V2, this is what it looks like after it's clean. So, and all I did was use soap and water, a little bit of acetone after to keep all my glue and everything off. So like I recommend, do not sit there with a razor blade and scrape your bed, because you're going to remove the adhesion that they put on this particular glass bed. So I'm going to make a video here in a little bit to show you how I clean my glass bed, and then we'll do a print to show you how the adhesion works. So just a longer shot here. So there's my V2, and then there's my Ender 3 Pro. Very similar printers. Of course, this one has, you know, the newer display. I haven't changed the firmware yet on this guy, soon to come. But my Ender 3 V Pro, if you guys have been watching, I have the Micro Swiss hot end with direct extruder, and then I have the spring upgrades, and I really like the red. I got a red theme going on here. This TPU, I got to put this TPU back in its dryer box because I pulled a print, I left it out for a couple days, and yeah, no good print. So stay tuned and I'll add to this video. Jake Hoffman back. So here's how we clean our glass bed. Just soap and water to start. Sorry, I had to take my kitchen. My wife here. You just take, and you can see the purple. See the purple there? That purple color, I don't know if you can see that. That's the glue. So we're just gonna take glue scrubber pad, not very abrasive. You're just gonna scrub, and if you can look, I don't know if my wife can get that or not. You can see all the purple hot glue coming off of it from the glue stick. And the goal is to get all this off. You don't have to press hard, it comes right off. And you get your glass bed nice and clean. Because remember, oil, fingerprints, all that stuff, it's real bad. And if you can watch, the water's clear. So you just keep scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. Get all the edges real good. Never does hurt to get the bottom side. When you do your bed leveling, if you're as anal as I am, I mean 0.02 millimeters can mean the world if you're printing something like a flexible. So after this, we'll give it a good dry, and then I'll show you guys the next step. Okay, so we're back again, back to the print room. So here's my bed, my glass bed, I'm sorry. Pretty clean, it's got a lot of prints on it. So I made sure my surface was nice and clean. This is, you know, where the heat all starts. So I'm gonna get this guy on there, get it nice and centered. Okay. Now I am waiting for my new clips to show up. I ordered, it's funny, I ordered these clips here, and due to COVID and everything else, I haven't been able to get them, especially on Amazon. So just use these old school ones for now. They're starting to lose their springy. Now something I want to show you. So you see this? You want your bed square. So you want, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. You want everything nice and square. So, you know, you want the edge here to be nice and true all the way around. Okay. So we're gonna keep doing this. Sorry about the no head cam today, you guys. I don't know what I did with it. I lost it somewhere between my helicopter flying and whatever else. So now there you go. It's back installed. Fairly clean. You can actually see the different fingerprints from me just wiping it down, and that's what we're going to get rid of. So we're going to use a terra cloth, and I use a mix, little bit of acetone and water Some people use rubbing alcohol. You can do that too, but I find this works good, and it actually activates the adhesion a little better. So we're just gonna pour a little bit on the towel. That's it. That's all it takes. And then you got to move quickly. And as you're rubbing, you can see it actually leaves streaks in the bed. And what this is doing is it's actually pulling all the contaminants out of your bed, your glass bed, and making it to where the adhesion is there again. And you can see some scratches from some scraping, but as you're rubbing it with the acetone, you can actually feel the bed getting sticky again, which is a good thing. But I'm not going to touch it with my finger, but we'll say if you were to touch it with your finger, and you can see, right, see that? I didn't clean it good enough in the sink. So now I'm gonna have to go back and do it again. Even though I don't really print over there, sometimes something really big maybe, but here, and that's pretty much it. So once you do that, you let it air dry for a little bit, and then go ahead and go back to your printing. So went from dirty to clean, and then there you go. Any questions or comments, just leave them in the bottom. I'll post some more videos here in the future on some other small things for beginner printers, but clean bed, level bed is like the key, in my opinion, to getting good early prints. Another thing that I've learned also is getting your filament dry and nice and clean, especially TPUs and stuff like this. So see, I have them all out of my container right now. That's one of my containers there. But especially when you're printing with like this guy here, you know, I always keep this in the bag, but that's the Ninja Flex. The shore hardness thing is so low and it's very flexible, but you want to keep this sealed. And you can see I got some silica in there. That's just for now. My airtight box, I'm making a new one because I didn't care for the way it came out. And I also cook my TPUs and low shore hardnesses and nylons in the oven. I have a dedicated oven for it. Depending on what the rate of your particular filament is, you don't want to go above the glass rate. So anywhere from 60C to 70C is decent. You want to make sure that your spools aren't made from recycled plastic. Let's see, Hatchbox, they're really good about having good spools. So you can see I like Hatchbox. It's a good PLA, and their spools can hold up to 80C in the oven. So like even this one here, I think I got this one for free. There's one like this one I got to put back in my dryer. It's ABS. This stuff needs to definitely be dry, and this won't be able to be printable for at least a 12-hour bake. But I'll make another video on that. So happy printing, and leave any questions or comments in the bottom, and like and subscribe. Jake Hoffman out. Okay, so here after our bed leveling and getting our plate clean and cleaned with my acetone wash, I kicked off a test print here, and oops, sorry, if you look, there's no glue. I didn't add no glue. This is just PLA, Hatchbox red PLA. And if you look at it here, we got a nice adhesion, decent print. Here's the settings here. So we're at 205 Celsius on the head, 60 degrees centigrade on the bed. Z is at 0 because when I do my bed leveling, that's another video. I'll show you how I keep it at 0 so there's no mistakes. But if you look here, I'll zoom in a little bit. I'll pick it up there. The quality of the print is beautiful. So, and this V2, there's no modifications. It's pretty much how it came out of the box. I mean, there's nothing. This is actually a SD card adapter case that I got off of Thingiverse that I'm printing for the V Ender Pro. So, but yeah, that came out good. And then also I kicked off another print here after cleaning the bed and getting it re-leveled. I have a CR Touch on this bed, so a little more work to get it leveled nice. I'll have another video for that also. But we have a print here. This is going to be a Z-axis knob for the V2. And it pretty much is just a test print, but I mean, if you look there, we got good adhesion, no glue. This is just PLA. This is also Hatchbox True Black, and this is the Hatchbox True Red. But both printers are printing nicely. Really looking good. And if you see, my baby step is at 0. And then back out of here. So nozzle temp 205 centigrade, bed at 60 centigrade, excuse me. Fan at 100% because we're past layer 1. This knob I also got off of Thingiverse. This is not something I catted, but looking pretty good. Same here. I mean, when it's done, I'll put another video up on showing you the quality of the print. And I'm using both our point core nozzles, and I use Cura is what I'm currently using. I do have 360. I haven't really played with it yet. Still a new printer, but that's why I'm making these videos, is for new people who are getting into 3D printing and trying to understand, you know, how it all works and how it goes down. I've watched a ton of videos, and there's a lot of good information out there. I actually Patreon support 3 guys on YouTube. But I do find that some of these guys who've been printing for such a long time, when they do basic videos for people who are learning and they're at the level I'm at, that they sometimes forget all the simple little steps that they learned over the years or decades or however long they were printing for. And sometimes it's just the little things, like as simple as keeping the bed clean, or, you know, your bed leveling techniques or something like that. I use feeler gauges for mine. So here you can see, let's see if I can get this to focus. This is what I use to level my bed. So it's 0.04 millimeters. It's really flimsy. This is the cheap little Harbor Freight feeler gauge set. I think it was like $5. That's what I use to level my beds and get it close. And then as I do, I have some test prints that I do. It's a square and a couple little leveling thing, and as it's going around, I check the level and I literally make bed adjustments versus using the software offsets. The reason I do that is I find a lot of firmware compiling can complicate things for new users, and you don't really need to get deep into the firmware compiling to get good prints in the beginning. And you know, they're not complicated prints, but at the same time, I've seen people that are struggling for years trying to get just a simple print to print. And these guys are like software engineers for major companies. I live in the Bay Area, so I've got Sony and Apple and Google and you name it all around me. And these guys come home and use 3D printers as a hobby, and they are struggling really bad because they're so stuck in changing the firmware to make everything work, when, you know, I'm pretty much a mechanical engineer. So with me, the mechanical aspect of bed leveling, this one's stock springs, stock knobs. I mean, this whole V2 is stock, but yet I washed the glass, I cleaned it, and look at that print. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see the quality there. It doesn't take brain science to print. And hopefully after making these videos and getting enough of them out there, I can get more people to get into 3D printing and learning how to make things that they want for their family and stuff like that. Like if I come over here, you know, here's some things I printed for the wife. This is a wood filament. It's a hook for her robe. I mean, here, let's look up close at this. Look at this. I mean, do you see any cross lines or, you know, anything wrong with that print? I mean, it looks beautiful. And this is a wood filament. First time I ever printed it. Here's a benchy right off my printer. Look at that. I mean, that's with that wood filament from Amazon. I mean, here you can see I mean, look at you. This is a great test for your printer. I have not touched anything as far as settings. This is pretty much the standard setting out of Cura. Nothing fancy. And you get a little bit of stringing there and a little bit of deformation around the window. Around the roof there. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but no, but I mean, here, look at the hull. Smooth. I mean, that was pretty much just bed leveling and a stock Cura standard setting and a 205/10. And then here's off the other ender with the true red. You can see here I had some cooling fan issues and stuff like that. You can see there in the front of the little boat. I stopped the print because I was like, you know what, I got other things to print, so did pretty good, but no stringing. I mean, a little bit there, but not bad. Some other hooks that I made for the wife out of that wood PLA. But so like I said, it doesn't really take a lot of firmware mastering to print to get some things that you want to build for around the house or for the wife or whoever, you know, your significant other. And that's why I'm making these videos, to help people. I mean, like, here's an Allen holder I took off a Thingiverse for my RC helicopter hobby, and it's beautiful. It's functional, works great, print is beautiful. I mean, it's awesome. So for anybody who's trying to get into 3D printing and you're struggling and you're having issues with getting prints to stick, or you're getting prints that just don't come out right, and you're just trying to tackle it in Cura or, you know, Fusion 360 or whatever slicer you're using, in my opinion, I think the base mechanics of your printer is where it all starts. And sure, firmware, when you get in there and you can make adjustments to correct improper mechanical setup. But I mean, these are Ender printers. These are the beginner printers. You know, this is just a basic $300 printer. And I'm making parts and I'm making stuff for RC helicopters. And I've only been doing it for a short period of time. So don't be shy. Get into it. And if you have any questions or comments or anything and I can help you in some way, shape, or form, I will do my best. But anyway, Jay Kaufman out. Enjoy your printing.